Chaitanya Vishnu Prabhavam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swaradam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Vedavadamalam Shri Guru Vishnu Shri Rupam Sarvadhanam Sahavinam Sarvekram Savadhunam Purailata Santam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Sahavinam Shri Vishnakanvitasya Namo Vishnupadaya Vishnu Krishnaya Bhutale Shri Mate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shvari Vasya Nirvishtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Saraswati Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare reading from Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And we are supposed to read from page number 62. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out that from here. Okay, please read.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pointed out that although called was the Puran, there are different instructions for worshipping different types of demigods. Such instructions only bewilder people into thinking that the demigods are supreme. Yet, if one carefully scrutinizes and studies the Puranas, he will find that Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, is the only object of worship. For instance, in the Markandeya Puran, there is mention of Devi worship or worship of goddess Durga or Kali, but in the same Chandika, it is also stated that all the demigods, even in the shape of Durga or Kali, are but different energies on the Supreme Vishnu. The study of the Puranas reveals Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be the only object of worship. The conclusion is that, directly or indirectly, all types of worship वही है हाँ ना वही the conclusion the conclusion is that directly or indirectly all types of worship are more or less directed to the supreme personality of Godhead Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, it is confirmed that one who worships the demigods is in fact only worshipping Krishna, because the demigods are but different parts of the body of Vishnu or Krishna. That such worship of demigods is irregular is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 7.20-23.
In one side, you will see that the worship of demigods is recommended, is given, because where do people come to know? They come to know by studying the Puranas, that these kind of demigods can be worshipped in this, and for if someone is desirous of getting something, then he has to worship that demigod. The point is that, see, people are not free from desire. People have, even in, you see that we have become devotees, still we have material desire. You see, we have material desire. We have, so yesterday our Raisham was giving us a Bhakti Vaibhav class. There Prabhuji was mentioning that although all of you have become brahmacharis, still you have not found the goal. So we are surprised how he is speaking like this. You have become brahmacharis, and Prabhuji is telling that we have not found the goal. So you have not found the goal. And he is very convincingly telling this. That if you would have actually found the goal, then you would never have become slackened in Krishna consciousness. The Sharanagati will come. Shraddha and then Sharanagati. So we have not found the goal. We are still searching, figuring out. We have not given our heart completely to Krishna. Not fully convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. So many things are still there. Okay, he may be, but we have so and so things. So all these material desires, we all of us have. Nobody can deny this. That's why we are not able to practice pure devotional service. Jiva Goswami says that once you have full faith in Krishna, then the next thing that will immediately follow is Sharanagati. Shraddha means full faith. Prabhupada says in Nectar Devotion. Faith means full faith. Faith means full faith. Control means full control. What is the meaning of half control? There's no control, right? Half control means actually no control. Control means full control. Then you can consider that you are the person in control. I have only this much control. That means what? You're not actually in control. So faith means full faith. Not that faith. We need very, very strong faith, and which we don't have. So because we don't have that level of faith, the Puranas they recommend different type of worship for different type of. As such, in spite of all sort of desire, one can also engage in Krishna consciousness. Akama sarva kamava moksha kama udaradhi vibrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So you can, in spite of all the desire, also you can worship the Lord, but it will be difficult. Person will generally not tend to do it. How then? How come we are doing it? That's because of we have association of devotee. Only because of that we are doing it. Just go out of association of devotee, your desires will take you somewhere else. You'll find. So only because of don't think that it is I because of my strength I am worshipping the Supreme Lord. No. Just place yourself outside the forum of devotees and observe yourself within 1 year. You will see what you are. You get surprised that I am what I am. Am I this? You are not able to know. We don't know our weakness because you are living in the association of devotees. It becomes very easier to practice Krishna consciousness. And go out of association and you see yourself. You will not be able to do it. 99.9% people will not be able to do it. 100% will not be able to do it. Not possible. You just give up the practice and you will forget about demigod worship. Will engage in so much of nefarious activities which need not be spoken here. So that conviction should be there actually. The actual strength lies in unknowing our weakness. Just know clearly and precisely that मैं किस कितने पानी में मैं हूँ. Then one's devotional service will be really genuine. Imagining oneself to be somewhere else and practicing will create a lot of disturbance, will commit offenses and will not practice properly. So one has to know. So these Puranas, they are recommended for people at different levels. There are people with some sort of a faith and directly worshipping Supreme Lord will be difficult for them. They will not be able to do it. So because of that, the Puranas are recommending, okay, you do Devi worship like this. This is the procedure. You do it, and having gone through that kind of strenuous process of this kind of demigod worship, one gets develop some sort of detachment, understanding that "Arey, this is if somehow that he will fall in association of devotees, he will definitely develop some detachment and will lean towards Krishna rather than outrightly just enjoying the senses without following the Puranas. Then there will be no scope of purification. That's the reason Puranas they recommend. So we should not see why the Puranas are there. It's not it's just irrelevant. Yeah, it is. But what to do? It is very difficult. These desires are compared to rope. Asa pashe sater vadha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. He compares the desire with ropes. Asa pas. They are tied to us. And they're like labyrinth of desire. You just know. If you see the sometimes threads, they get they get intertwined with each other. You have seen? They get intertwined with each other. And to remove, the more you try to remove, the more they become intertwined. You've seen that? You pull from here, you pull from there, the knot becomes tight, and you just don't understand what's happening. That's the case with desire actually. Very, very. We ourselves don't know how the desires are intertwined within our heart. And when you go and try to remove them, you develop more and more. So then the Puranas, they allow a person gradually with long time one may get fall in the right place. Yeah, you can read it. Right?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami about Krishna's multi-forms and his unlimited opulence.
Ah, yeah, yeah, I got it, got it.
About Krishna's multi-forms and his unlimited opulence.
Where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told?
Uh, Banaras.
In Banaras. Yeah.
He also described the nature of the spiritual manifestation, the material manifestation, and the manifestation of the living entity. In addition, he informed Sanatana Goswami that the planets in the spiritual sky, known as Vaikunthas, and the universes of the material sky are different types of manifestations, for they are created by different energies, namely the spiritual energy and the material energy, respectively. As far as Krishna himself is concerned, he is directly situated in his spiritual energy, or specifically in his internal potency. To help us understand the difference between the spiritual energy and the material energy, the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam gives a clear analysis of the two. Sridhar Swami also gives a clear analytical study in his commentary on the first verse of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Accepting Sridhar Swami as an authorized commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted his commentary as follows. The 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam describes the life and activities of Krishna because he is the shelter of all manifestations. Knowing Krishna to be the shelter of everything, I worship him and offer him my obeisances. In this world, there are two kinds of principles operating. One principle is the origin or shelter of everything, and all other principles are derived from this original principle. The supreme truth is the ashray, the shelter of all manifestations. All other principles which remain under the control of the ashray tattva or the absolute truth are called ashrita
Or Vishay. Asray and Vishay.
or subordinate corollaries and reactions. The purpose of the material manifestation is to give the conditioned souls a chance to become liberated and return to the Ashray Tattva or the absolute truth. Since everything is in the cosmic creation, which is manifested by Krishna's Vishnu's expansion, is dependent on the Ashray Tattva, the various demigods and manifestations of energy, the living entities, and all material elements are dependent on Krishna, for Krishna is the supreme truth. Thus, Srimad Bhagavatam indicates that everything is sheltered by Krishna directly and indirectly. Consequently, perfect knowledge can be had only by an analytical study of Krishna as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Chaitanya then asked Sanatana Goswami to listen attentively as he described the different features of Krishna. First, the Lord informed him that Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, is the absolute supreme truth, the cause of all causes, and the origin of all emanations and incarnations. Yet in Vraja or Golok Vrindavan, he is just like a young boy. His form is eternal, full of bliss, and full of knowledge absolute. He is both the shelter of everything and the proprietor as well. In the
Both we have to understand that how Krishna's Prabhupada says Krishna's Srishti Leela and Krishna's Vrindavan Leela. So in Vrindavan Leela, Krishna's personal nature is magnified. His dealings with his devotees and is manifested. But in the Srishti Leela, it is how he is Dharayami Ahamojasa. The whole creation he is just he's maintaining in by his Achintya Sakti, by his external potency. So all this creation he has done through his external potency. And in Vrindavan, he is a small child and he is roaming around in the village with the cowherd boys and he's serving his father mother and Nanda Baba is asking Krishna, get my sandals. And Krishna is running to get the sandals. Somehow other is managing to lift it, putting it is on his head, and then with a lot of difficulty walks towards Nanda Maharaj. And so all these things also we have to understand both, and also we have to see his Srishti Leela, how he has created this universe, how this whole cosmic manifestation is moving under his direction. The Prabhupada says, no matter can move without a spiritual touch. So anywhere you see the matter, it is just lying. The table, if you just kartal, if you keep it here for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands here, it will just keep lying here, right? But if somebody, a man comes, a living person comes, he takes and lifts it somewhere, and you just so matter on its own it will always keep lying. It is never moving on its own. That has to be understood by all of us. And it is Krishna who is making it move, putting this huge cosmic manifestation in order, in action, and in place. It is Lord Krishna who is doing it, the Supreme Spirit. He is the He is the person who is making it everything move and everything placing them in order. So this intelligent person has to always remember that this huge, gigantic, cosmic manifestation is moving under somebody's direction. I am not the person. My neighbor is not the person. My colleague is not the person. That has to be supreme person. That is supreme Lord Sri Krishna who is doing it in his different various energies and different other incarnations. But the Supreme Lord himself on the other side is also a person who is having his devotees, his intimate dealings with his devotees. So both way, as a sadhaka, we have to understand simultaneously, both together. When you do this together, then our devotional growth for us. Yeah, you can read.
In this connection, Lord Chaitanya gave evidence from the Brahma Samhita. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, with a body full of knowledge, eternity, and bliss. He has no origin. He is the original person, known as Govinda, and is the cause of all causes. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave evidence that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in all six opulences. His abode, known as Golok Vrindavan, is the highest planet in the spiritual sky. In addition, Lord Chaitanya quoted a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.
एतेषां सकला पुंसा कृष्णस्तु भगवान् स्वयम् इन्द्राणि व्याकुलं लोकं हृदयन्ति युगे युगे. So there is difference between incarnation and Krishna's expansion and his swarupa, like that. So we have to understand all these avatars, they come in the material world, they are all incarnation of the Supreme Lord, avatar. And Krishna is avatari. So these Narsimha, Vaman, all they are avatar. But the Supreme Lord has all these forms also as an expansion in the spiritual worlds. So but their avatars are there only in the material world. You know that or not? Avatars are not there in the spiritual world. There is no avatar in spiritual world. Avatars are there only in the material world. That's why they're called avatar. Yes, you can read.
All incarnations are either direct expansions of Krishna or indirectly expansions of the expansions of Krishna. However, the name of Krishna indicates the original
So all
personality of Godhead.
incarnations, please read this carefully. All incarnations, where in the material world. All incarnations in the material world, they are either direct expansions of Krishna or coming from
Expansions of
expansion. So you might have heard about Krishna, then he expands into Balaram. Balaram is where in the spiritual world.
spiritual world.
Then Balaram expands to
Sankarshan, Aniruddha, Pradyumna and Vasudeva.
yes, the four Chaturvyas. The first Chaturvya is formed, and then in that four Chaturvyas, Shankarshan, he expands
Hmm.
as Narayan.
Narayan.
Exactly, he comes as Narayan, and then this Narayan is where in the Vaikuntha.
Vaikuntha planet.
He is in the Vaikuntha. He's not in the material world. Then from Narayan comes another
God.
four set. Where they're in the Vaikuntha. They're in the Vaikuntha. And then from that Sankarsana comes who?
Mahavishnu.
Mahavishnu comes. Yes.
Karnodaksha.
Then the Mahavishnu comes to the material world. From that Mahavishnu comes Garbhodaksha.
Garbhodaksha Vishnu.
And then the
Shirodaksha Vishnu.
Shirodaksha Vishnu. And that Garbhodaksha Vishnu also takes incarnations there.
Right.
So all the incarnations are coming from there. Clear?
Yes.
So like that, yeah. Read.
It is he who appears on this earth, in this universe or in any other universe, when there is a disturbance created by the demons, or who are always trying to disrupt the administration of the demigods. There are three different processes by which Krishna can be understood: the empiric process of philosophical speculation, the process of meditation according to the mystic yoga system, and the process of Krishna consciousness or devotional service. By the method of philosophical speculation, the impersonal Brahman feature of Krishna is understood. By the process of meditation or mystic yoga, the feature of the super soul, the all pervading expansion of Krishna, is understood. And by devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, the original personality of Godhead is realized. Lord Chaitanya also quotes this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Vadanti tat tattvavidastatvam yajnanamadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdate. Those who are knowers of the
See, this particular shloka, Vadanti tat tattvavidas, tattvam yad jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatma iti bhagavan iti sabhyate. Like that, this shloka is there. So here the word tattva has come. Tattva. You know, tattva means what? The word truth in English has come from tattva, right? It has come from tattva. So tattva means, and tattva comes from the word tat. From where? Tat. So tat means who? You know what is the meaning of tat? Tat is always the supreme personality of God. Where it is said, Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho. Which chapter? 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So there the word Om Tat Sat, 4 verses Krishna explains. So he explains Tat also. There is a line in Bhagavad Gita explains about Tat. I think 17.26. You can see. There Krishna says about Tat. What is the meaning of Tat? Tat means supreme personality of God. When the word Tat is used, Tat means what? Supreme personality of God. Tat means supreme. Om means what? Supreme personality of God. And Tat means what? Supreme personality of God. Yes. Om Tat Sat means what? Supreme personality of God. Like that. Every class, every prayer, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, after the prayer, he will say Om Tat Sat. After every prayer, Maharaj will say Om Tat Sat. He will say. So, so this Tat means what? Supreme Personality of God. Tattva also refers to the Supreme Personality of God. Tattvam Kim? Mayavadi is the first question. The discussion is Tattvam Kim. The Gyanis. What is Tattva? Let's have a discussion like that. So when there is a very famous Mayavadi in Banaras, very, very famous, called Madhusudan Vachaspati. Very famous. He was the brother of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. Both of them were sons of Maheshwar Visarad. Very, very learned person. So this Madhusudan Vachaspati, when he was in Banaras, he had so many disciples. All the Mayavadis were his disciples. And he would tell them about Tattva. But later somehow he came in the touch with devotees and he became, I believe he is contemporary of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu only. So he became a devotee. Who? Madhusudan Vachaspati. Later when his disciples will ask, Tattvam Kim? He will say that Vamsi Vibhusita Karat Navanira Dabhat Purnendu Sundara Mukhat Aravinda Netrat. There is Vamsi Vibhusita Karat Vamsi Vibhusita Karat Navanira Dabhat Pitambarat Aruna Bimba Faladharostat Purnendu Sundara Mukhat Aravinda Netrat Krishnat Param Kimapi Tattvam Aham Najan. Like that he would say. He said that Vam, when you ask what is Tattvam, he will say that Vamsi Vibhushita, the person who is playing the flute. Vamsi Vibhushita Karat Navanira Dabhat. He has a body view of a fresh cloud. And Pitambarat Aruna Bimba Faladhara Ustat. Wearing a Pitambar, Vastra, Aruna Bimba Faladhara Ostat. Like Aruna, his lips are reddish like a Bimbafuri. And Purnendu Sundara Mukhat, his face is as beautiful as a full moon. You can see from there. Purnendu Sundara Mukhat, Aravinda Netrat, his eyes are as beautiful as lotus petal. Aravinda Netrat. That person, Krishna, is the supreme truth. And I don't know any truth beyond than this. Like that, this Madhusudan Vachaspati. So, but here in the sloka it says that tattva are categorized into three. Lowest is impersonal absolute truth. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina matstani sarvabhutani nachaham tesu avastita. This is Krishna saying in 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. I am pervading this whole cosmic manifestation, this material creation by my impersonal aspect. Krishna says. That's why these Gyanis they get bewildered by impersonal aspect actually. Because Krishna says, I am pervading this entire cosmic manifestation through my impersonal aspect. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagat avyakta murtina. By my impersonal aspect, I am pervading this whole cosmic manifestation. So that's why the people get bewildered. That's why they feel this impersonal aspect is the highest truth. They don't go beyond it. It is natural to feel like that actually. Because everything is ultimately all material energy is springing from Krishna's energy, absolute, the impersonal energy, Brahmajyoti. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti kotisu asesa vasudhadi vibhuti vinnam tad brahma niskalam anantam asesha bhutam govindam adi purusham tamam bhajan. Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti. Prabhavato means origin. सब जगदंड कोटि कहां से आते हैं? यस्य प्रभा, गोविंद का प्रभा से आता है. प्रभा मतलब क्या? Impersonal aspect. So it's coming from the impersonal aspect. That's why they consider impersonal aspect to be the highest. They are not able to go beyond Govindam, Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajan. Like that. Yeah, you can read.
Those who are knowers of absolute truth describe the absolute truth in three features as impersonal, Brahman, localized, all-pervading supersoul, and the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. In other words, Brahman, the impersonal manifestation, Paramatma, the localized manifestation, and Bhagwan, the supreme personality of Godhead, are one and the same. However, according to the process adopted, he is realized as Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagwan. By realizing the impersonal Brahman, one simply realizes the effulgence emanating from the transcendental body of Krishna. This effulgence is compared to the sunshine. There is the sun God, the sun itself, and the sunshine which is shining effulgence of that original sun God. Similarly, the spiritual effulgence, Brahmajyoti, impersonal Brahman, is nothing but the personal effulgence of Krishna. To support this analysis, Lord Chaitanya quoted one important verse from Brahma Samhita in which Lord Brahma says, Yasya
Yasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti kotisu asesa vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma niskalam anantam asesa bhutam govindamati purusham aham bhajami.
I worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by whose personal effulgence the unlimited Brahmajyoti is manifested. In that Brahmajyoti there are innumerable universes and each is filled with innumerable planets. Lord Chaitanya further point out that the Paramatma, the all-pervading feature situated in everyone's body, is but a partial manifestation or expansion of Krishna. But because Krishna is the soul of all souls, he is called Paramatma, the Supreme Self. In this regard, Chaitanya quoted another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam concerning the talks between Maharaj Parikshit and Sukdev Goswami. While hearing of the transcendental pastime of Krishna in Vrindavan, Maharaj Parikshit inquired from his spiritual master, Sukdev Goswami, as to why the inhabitants of Vrindavan were so much attached to Krishna? To this quoted, uh, to this question, Sukdev Goswami answered, Krishnam enam avahi tvam atman
Atmanam akhilatmana
akhilitam desh
jagadhitaya sopyatra dehi
dehi
vahati
vahati
maya.
maya. Krishna should be known as the soul of all souls, for he is the soul of all individual souls and the soul of the localized Paramatma as well. At Vrindavan, he was acting
Soul of no soul of all souls is there in the form of Atmanam akhilatmana. Akhila means all inclusive. So all souls, soul is Atmanam Akhilatmanam. Krishnam Enam Avehitvam Atmanam Akhilatmanam. Krishna is the soul of all souls. So all this body is very dear to us because you know why? Because the soul is there in the body. And why soul is so dear to us? Because inside the soul there is super soul. Atmanam Akhilatmanam. So actually the dear person is Krishna. And because Krishna is situated within the soul, that's why soul is very attractive to us. As soon as the soul leaves, body becomes useless. And Krishna has allowed the soul to move as per his desire. Although he is the supreme being situated with the soul, he is not controlling. He is letting the soul desire move wherever the soul wants. That's why it is called Sarvagata. But the soul is so attractive because it is super soul is there in the Krishna Mevehi Tvam Atmanam Akhilatmanam. Yeah.
at Vrindavan, he was acting just like human being to attract people and to show that he is not harmless. The Supreme Lord is as much an individual as other living beings, but he is different in that he is the supreme and all other living beings are subordinate to him. All other living beings can also enjoy spiritual bliss, eternal life, and full knowledge in his association. Lord Chaitanya quotes a verse from Bhagavad Gita in which Krishna, telling Arjuna of his different opulences, points out that he himself enters this universe by one of his plenary portions, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, and also enters into each universe as the Kshudradaksha Vishnu, and then expands himself as the supersoul in everyone's heart. Lord Krishna himself indicates that if anyone wants to understand the supreme absolute truth in perfection, he must take to the process of devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. Then it will be possible for him to understand the last word of the absolute truth.
Yeah. His forms are one and the same. Chapter 6.
Buddha, Kalki, and all they are incarnations.
Six type of avatar. Satyavesha, Illa, Yuga, Guna, Manvanta.
But like Kalki, Buddha, and they also have original explanations,
Original plants, yeah.
But last time, Prabhuji was telling that Kalki is a Satyavesha. Okay.
So,
Satyavesha.
that it is not in that case, there must be a spiritual way.
But Lord Kapila.
Satyavesh, Muthu Maharaj goes back to God. Goes back to God. So Satyavesh of that moment there. Brahma, Tirguna Avata. Right? So is there any spiritual world from Brahma? No, Brahma will enter as a spiritual being.
So, like Narasimha, they have two incarnation. So then after
What Narasimha they will do? That's your
after Leela,
again very bold. What he will do? He will go to another planet. There are multi, so many. Avatara Sahasrani, Asankhya planet and Asankhya avatars. They are always in rotation. They never feel loveless. They never sit in bench. They are very. Don't worry. What happened? Nashya Devi. Loveless. What happened? Peter Nashya Devi is jobless. Retirement pension. Okay, thank you very much.
last question. Like we had discussion earlier with Ajay Prabhu that he said, Sarvakidam Brahma, we say like this, and everything is Brahma.
Yeah, so Salam Khanuvidam Brahma.
You can get to the point that the deity is a additional better box of matter. But now we understand that it's Vayanda and Krishna. All six operands.
No, first thing you have to understand, can there be spirit in the material world or not? Yes. Can material thing be spiritual at least? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, they can be spiritual. Like Guru's body. Guru's body is matter or spirit? It is spirit. It is spirit. It is spirit. How it is spirit? Because it is completely doing the activity of spirit. There is no material component. Although it is visible, it is completely spiritual. That's why we give them samadhi. Not them, we give them samadhi and there, the Guru is there. So if the Vaishnava Guru is always present in samadhi, you know that? Always present. That's why Bhagavad take the son of Prabhu Goswami in his samadhi. So when give samadhi to Vaishnava, it is not just ordinary thing. He is gone, dead and gone, there is only skeleton. It is not like that. To external vision, it might appear like that. That is the limitation of the material life. It sticks to the material aspect. See the charma. So they have become spiritual, completely spiritual. They will be there. Then we say, then how they go back to Nityalila Pradishta? उधर क्या होता है बेचारे लोग समाज में बैठे रहते हैं they go back to the spiritual world also they live there also yogis can live in simultaneously how many places 8 places Kardam expanded himself to 9 so like that they can and all of them will be spiritual in nature not that इतना spirit कहाँ से replicate हो रहा है they can be in spiritual world also can be there in samadhi also
So the question was like, if we are able to say that this matter is completely spiritual phenomenon, it is Krishna himself. So the inversion form of the Lord, that is spiritual only completely. So can't we access the six organs Krishna?
No. It is not. It is spiritual, but it is without any attribute. That's why it is below. That's why Brahmati Paramatma is Bhagavan, etc. So Paramatma also has lesser attribute. It is, although it is Brahman, full, but it is not as 100%. It's not there is attribute. Krishna has 64, the other incarnations have 60, the other expansions have. Although Brahman, there is not full attribute. So all Krishna's full attributes, we can't fall in love with impersonal Brahman. You can acquire impersonal Brahman in Bhaschalyaras. So all these things, there is no rush. Question of rasa and below.
Just because we have a process to spiritualize matter, we are able to say that this form of the deity this has become Krishna completely.
It has not become Krishna, it has become, it is Krishna. It is Krishna. There is no difference. So if Krishna will come and stand, talk to you, all benefits that you can derive from Krishna, same benefits can be derived from deity also. Krishna can do Lila, this deity also can do Lila. Only thing is that this somebody, some materialistic person, where is the material world, you might break. Well, he can do it. Anybody can just harm. That agency Krishna has provided for the material world. Now, this deity can, this Krishna can you break? No, you cannot do all this. This also you cannot. If he does not want, he cannot do anything. But to this, he is Mudayan Maya Loka. To fool them, he is the deity who can act like that also. To be fooled with him. And so, not the deity broke, finished. So, how see the matter. Like that, these people, the Muslims, they converted, the Mughals, they converted, and breaking the deities. See, they broke actually. Moving there, the mother one others, we rescued them. But many other deities, they were actually broken. Right? Yeah. So then, to destroy the faith. But you see, they broke, but they are now, the culture is back again in track. So it is now so many deities they will not have. And then the incarnations, the deities have their purpose actually. They will not fully act like Supreme Personality of Godhead because they just want to, their purpose is to receive the service from the devotees and take them back to God. That's the only purpose. Krishna will, now Krishna will say, the temple is attacked, you come out and help us. So he cannot do that. He may do that also. He did it. Many places he did it also. Did he not do it? He came to the yeah, he came to he did that, he came to the witness. Many deities they did like that. And the Mughals had to Gava Maharaj, so many Shivaji Maharaj came. They started fighting with Pandura. So how in Krishna would do it every day? They will be in faith. It's not the devotees don't challenge. They know this space. There is absolutely no difference. But Krishna is concerned with his devotees. He is not concerned with the non-devotees. So whatever they do, let them do. So the deity is the maximum manifestation of the Lord. Very, very special. Very, very special. That's why the deities are cared with a lot of sambhram and love. They have to show very nicely. Because they have just allowed the child to be in our hand. We should never think, no, he should never repeat that as he wants. Whenever we feel like we lost the program, it is not like that. They have just appeared. This condition only they have. Your devotees, they call them, please come, we'll serve to the best capacity. And they bring the Lord and they create a temple and build the banner, then leave the body. Now it is up to us. We have to take care of the things. And the life should flow. Never mind Guru Maharaj needed to body. He told that my only wealth are my deities. And I don't want them to be worshipped by any individual person. Because their worship must stop. He's thinking for them for the rest of eternity. Let them put back in the altar and somewhere in this context. That understanding is given. The deities are they will put themselves in our hands very helplessly. That's why many deities in Vrindavan they are actually not cared for. You see them. Go to the temple, the deities are just lying there. Once in a week they are changing their dress, and once they are offering some simple bhoga. The deities are accepting the neglect. And it is not once or twice, many years together. Sometimes deities are thrown in the bush, in the wall, and they keep lying there for 200 years. Then some devotee comes and says, please rescue me. It happens a lot. It happens. What proof do we need to say that the deities are spirit of? Okay, thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.